time we get the opportunity to be back on the road, we seize the moment. In this episode of Community Forum, let's take you to a charming old settlement that's a haven for agricultural produce. The farmers here are thriving, with their barns overflowing with crops, but beneath their warm smiles lie heartbreaking stories of struggle. Children are dropping out of school, and the community is still reeling from the devastating loss of lives caused by a collapsed bridge that once connected them to the world. Let's tell you about this resilient community and discover what opportunities for growth and transformation are available. Along the Abakaliki-Ogoja highway sits an ancient rustic town known as Mbarekul. Since the community is hidden from prying eyes, the short journey to Mbarekul starts at Nkpakana Junction. If this is your first time within the community, you would think the sight of power cables means the rural community is connected to the national grid. But the story is different. Whenever locals get a chance to talk about it, you would see the anger and disappointment on their faces.
The rural electrification program came up as far back as 2011. Right from that time when they came, the communities around cooperated, particularly this very rural community in Mbarekul, gave them extreme cooperation. They did very well. They fell down the trees here. In fact, the falling of trees was almost a problem because they were economic trees. But because we really loved electricity, we have to let go the falling of the trees. That was done. They started erecting the poles. The problem we started getting from the electricity, which we loved, was the breaking down of the bridge. The fall of that bridge was as a result of the poles they were conveying to plant them over these areas. So as a result, the bridge now sagged. The walls, the columns that carried the bridge fell off. That was the saga we faced as at that time. Right from that time that the bridge fell, we never had a good bridge. We never had good electricity. The electricity right from then till today, we've not seen the light.
Mbarekul community is surrounded by 18 villages in Ogoja local government area of Cross River State. For 7 of those 18 villages, Mbarekul serves as the headquarters. But this ancient bridge, made from brown rusty steel and worn-out planks of wood, is wobbling under the pressure of motorcycles, the only mode of transportation for hundreds of households living in Mbarekul. Gaining access into the community is difficult and risky. A number of persons have used the bridge, but sadly, they did not make it to the other side. Sunday Mombom Agam is a descendant of the community's founding families. He knows Mbarekul's struggles firsthand. For him, Mbarekul is home, and its people are family. But as the community struggles to stay connected, one thing is clear: the community is in dire need of a bridge.
We have too much flood that break down the bridge and all other things that you think that maybe we can at least do it well. We cannot. Many people cannot even pass. By the time you think to pass to the market, sometimes you come and the flood is high that you cannot pass because of the breakdown of the bridge. Nothing will benefit here as government something. Though we have a school that I would say we are benefiting from the school that they send us a primary school and a health center, but the road that at least will enable us to rush out, we cannot even know.
The fear of crossing the bridge has left residents of the community isolated from Cross River State, or should I say, the people's paradise. When they need help, they are forced to rely on
7 years that they constructed this NEPA light. The thing is not working. So we are suffering from the bridge and suffering from the light. we are not benefiting anything.
You only use motorcycles to convey your
Goods.
your produce, right? That's the rice.
Yeah.
Down to the markets.
Up to carry 5, which means if you plus 1.5 by 5, will give you definitely around 7,500 to convey 5 bags of rice to the main road. We lost a lot of souls in the process of the damage of this bridge. Last 2 months, we lost our small ones because we don't.
A year and 7 months since the vehicle drove into Mbarekul community. The elders say they don't want to see a vehicle destroy what they have built with their sweat and time. This time, they are making an exception. The expression on the faces of residents is one of excitement and hope. They're surprised to see a vehicle in the community, and they're hopeful this visit by our crew helps bring them the needed attention and bridge that will open up the agrarian community. Residents of the community say each election cycle brings politicians to the village, but they do not come alone. They bring with them promises of a new bridge, electricity, a better life, along with other things the community desperately needs. But as soon as elections are over, the politicians leave and they take with them their promises unfulfilled. With only themselves to trust, residents of the 7 communities pull together resources to maintain the bridge. The villagers have spent millions, lost lives to the maintenance of the bridge.
The first coach we put that would enable us to get past, the thing collapsed. The second one, we still put the second one, the thing collapsed. The third one is here, the thing collapsed. This one is the 4th one that you see us trekking today. You can't, because this place is right inside deep. So this one is a 4th item we have been trying.
This is how we've been managing the bridge for a period of about 15 years now when it got bad. These are people from different communities carrying timber from the forest to where the bridge is going to be at least managed for people to pass for commercial purposes. This here, why we took this photograph, in fact, we were very fast to have taken this photograph. This woman didn't make it on the attempt to cross here. In fact, she was not properly picked when she fell into the gap you're seeing. We lost that woman. That was in 2015 that we lost that very lady you're seeing there. So the bridge has crossed. She fell. You see the part you're seeing here is open. So there was just only one plank that was carrying them. So she lost her step and fell into the bridge. She lost her life in 2015. Then when you watch this very photograph, you see the flood. During high tide, the place is not passable. During high tide, except you are a very, very good swimmer, nobody passes there again. Our children are being barred from going to schools. Market women are being barred from going to the market. And the commercial activities, in fact, does not go properly again as soon as we have the high tide.
And there is no alternative? No
alternative, just no alternative. We don't have canoes. The only thing is just stop going out. Hunger has been one of those things we've been suffering because we get out here to go and get some food stuff to take in the community. So within this period of high tide, we've been suffering a lot of problems. Watch here. There was a more dangerous space that was created. If you see the crowd that is left behind there, the reason was that we have waited for a very long period of time. We didn't see our children coming back. So we didn't know that there was problem there. Our market women refused to come back to the village. So what we did now was, as the community now went down there, discovered that people were there and the bridge was so dilapidated that they cannot cross. There was a gap at the middle. So now we have to call some labor from other communities. They came and we did emergency job. That's why you see those people much there. And if you look at the crowd from behind, you see that the people that were left out there were over 500 people. So if 500 people will die in a community, you know that that community is completely gone.
Mbarekul community is a farmer's dream. It has a vast land ripe for agriculture.
for quite long that I have been cultivating my rice here. I've been planting my rice. In fact, I have never seen a favor. But right from the government of Buhari and the one of Tinubu today, I am more or less laughing because the thing has come to my favor. That formerly I was selling a bag of rice, 3,500, 5,000, 500 kg, 50 kg. But right from the government of Buhari up to Tinubu today, I sold my bag of rice at the rate of 40,000. One bag is 40,000.
At the entrance of Mbarekul community is a health care facility. With a rusty signpost, we could barely make out the words. An aerial view of the facility shows a patched roof and the imprint of the morning sun brightening up the washed-up yellow walls. A closer look at the medical center tells of a flood-ridden facility. The plinth peeling away, exposing the structural framework. It's a ticking time bomb, threatening to collapse at any moment.
Mbarekul help here. There is a lot of things we lack of. The structure of the building, the lover is damaged. When you want to admit the patient, mosquito will not allow, no mosquito net. The ceiling is being damaged. The electricity, there is no plan. The plan is not damaged because of summer. The summer is not working too, that we can get water to supply the toilet. Even the toilet, because of long using of the toilet is not flushing well, which we need the government to service it and the pump, then so that we can get water to service the community and the patient that is coming here.
What you see when you enter the facility is torn health posters littering the walls.
This is a pharmacy. This is a pharmacy.
Here the facility has just 3 community health workers, no doctors. They have to report at the facility daily, each running an 8-hour shift to ensure the facility opens 24 hours a day.
Our physical levels, we jack the baby mother. Yes, the woman, we jack it. I see this one here. After we deliver her, we jack to the wards.
So there's always people who need the patients too. After delivery.
We don't have pushing this thing now, pushing bed. We don't have that trouble. We only jack them inside.
So you carry them over the shoulder and
yes.
take them into the next room.
Yes.
At least 11 communities rely on the Mbarekul Health Center in Ogoja, but the facility is paralyzed because of a basic necessity, which is electricity.
The cold chains that we're supposed to preserve vaccine here for use when maybe 0 dose now, we have a 0 dose. A patient will give birth, but we cannot have 0 dose to administer to them. So, because of electricity. But if we have it, they provide fresh and we'll begin to make use of it.
So you've not been able to administer vaccines?
When we want to administer vaccine, we have our macro plan, work plan that we did here. So it is only once a month we do immunization. But if we have electricity and we have our fridges here, we can enable to store some vaccine that immediately we give birth to a child, we immunize them immediately.
Health workers must travel about 30 to 35 kilometers to Ogoja town to get vaccines. At times they get drones with limited supply of vaccines. But these vaccines can't wait for the villagers and their newborns. They have to be administered immediately. Since there is no electricity to preserve the vaccines, it's a dire situation that's costing lives.
I earn 60,000. The salary cannot even afford the square meter, 3 square meters again for me. Taking that 60,000 naira for the whole month, it cannot even serve me. Talk to feed my children. So if the government can increase my salary, it will help go far.
Residents blame the lack of electricity for the tragic loss of children and adults in the community. This is the only primary school in Mbarekul. The primary school was built by the community with support from a non-governmental organization back in 2004. The school is owned by the government, but just like the bridge, the school has also been abandoned by the government.
Just 2 teachers.
Chairs, no tables.
No chairs, no tables. And the 2 teachers, the head teacher doesn't teach.
The head teacher
The head teacher doesn't teach. So that's just 1 teacher.
1 teacher.
Just 1 teacher.
8 classrooms.
For 8 classrooms.
1 teacher.
1 teacher. And if you look at it, the 8 classrooms I'm talking about, some of these classes have been meshed together because of lack of accommodation. Okay, now there are 6 classrooms here. And because some of these classes are overfilled, so we need to make some other classes for them. But since the community, government is not coming to our aid, so we've been merging some of these classes, like ECC and the primary one. Sometimes they are being meshed. So we are supposed to have more than 10 classrooms to be able to carry the children.
How much do they pay to get into primary school?
It's free. So they just pay a token of, I think, 1,500. And that's all about the term for primary school.
For 1 term?
For 1 term. That's all about it. So the problem we have in the primary school is just lack of teachers and other facilities like educational materials, books, tables, chairs, and more classrooms. We need more buildings.
The St. Vincent's Primary School signpost is about 300 meters away from the actual school block. Now, this school block has 6 classrooms, accommodating 8 classes. Now, we understand that these classes are usually packed on a normal school day. Exactly. And far back in 2012 or was it through 2015 when the Cross River State government had come up with this Suburb delivered just tables to the classrooms?
Just few tables.
Few tables to the classrooms. Did they bring chairs?
They didn't bring some chairs. I think the chairs we have are just about 10 chairs.
10 chairs?
Just about 10
for
chairs.
8 classrooms?
For 8 classrooms.
For 8
for
classes?
8 classes.
They brought 10 chairs?
For 8 classes.
For 8 classes. So just in these classrooms now, we have just tables?
Good.
Just tables?
Just tables.
So when pupils come to school, where do they sit?
When pupils come to school, they hang. They hang on the tables. No place to sit. And some will sit on the floor when they are tired standing. And that is why learning is not effective. That's why learning is not effective. So they've been hanging. Sometimes they sit on the floor. You see some will be sleeping because there's no conducive place for them to learn. So that's what we've been suffering in the environment. That's why we are crying for more facilities in this environment. At least you are an eyewitness. You're seeing the tables. Few tables. They are not even up to 30 tables. For a school that has up to 6 classes. And the available classrooms are 6, which we need another school building.
So the pupils here are about 500?
The pupils we have here are about 500. And there could be more if these facilities are available.
So you need more classrooms?
We need more classrooms. This community can produce 1,000 pupils if facilities are okay, because it will create attraction for them to come down. So
another question I have is, so since this is supposed to serve 5 communities?
Yes, this is supposed to serve 6 communities in all.
6 communities.
Yes.
So when this is not available, where do the children go?
When this is not available, schools that are away from here are about 30 kilometers. I think the least school is about 20 kilometers away from here.
The primary school?
The primary school.
20 kilometers away?
20 kilometers away from here. So you can imagine that. And so instead of these children trekking those ways, the parents here are scared of that they will go, they wouldn't know how to cross the highway. And even when there's no bridge for them to even cross to get to the highway. So they wouldn't want to lose their children on the bridge by the flood. And if they will even manage to pass, we don't want to lose them by the highway there.
It is like deja vu for Mbarekul community. The community is yet to get a bridge. The school has been abandoned. Refusing to give up, the community rallied together to save their primary school when it was on the verge of shutting down. First, they tackled the teacher shortage, hiring educators themselves to ensure the 500 pupils didn't miss out on their education. But that's just winning half of the battle. Next, they now have to figure out how to pay these teachers. But even with all these interventions from the community, the school is still faced with a lot of challenges. For those who find it difficult to access good education, agriculture and transportation are the means of survival.
As an individual, I have tried to alleviate the sufferings of the people. I think government should aid us to do better for our people. I was not comfortable really. When I came into this community, there were about 3 secondary graduates. You wouldn't imagine it in 2005.
Just 3.
3. But when I came in 2010, I was able to produce about 11 secondary graduates. But as I speak with you now, I have university graduates, polytechnics and colleges of education that are produced by the same school. And sometimes we could cry that government should help us, the private sectors, because we are doing well. They should give us assistance to do well for communities like this.
So how much does it cost to be admitted into your school?
My admission is very small. Only admission alone, you pay 1,500. That's just your admission fee. My fee is just 4,000 naira. It's good to laugh. It's good to laugh it out.
4,000 naira?
Yes, and even some parents cannot even pay. There are some that are owing.
7-year-old Augustine raises to bring his latest invention, a toy car made with scraps. At one corner, some elders sat watching Augustine show off his creation, wishing their schools were upgraded, wishing the talents and creative minds of children like Augustine won't be wasted.
Why you know they go to school every time?
If I go to school, teacher no there, and teacher what they sit down no there. That's why my father can't go put for telo. And bridge with the part go school, you know there. That's why my father can't go put for telo at the day for us.
But you won't go to school back?
Yes.
What do you feel the government will do for you?
To bring teachers.
Make government bring teachers for now. You won't go secondary school?
Yes.
For girls, marriage is the temporary escape from poverty. It's a cycle that's hard to break.
Education here is very poor. Very, very poor because of lack of money, lack of finance. We don't have anything to further ourselves. On behalf of me, I stopped on the way because of the way the economic was with me. So I could not further up because of money. I stopped it on the way. That's why I gave birth earlier. I could not do anything again.
You gave birth at the age of what?
Gave birth at the age of 20.
So that was when you finished school?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So how do you think that affects girls around the community?
It
The fact
affects
that
us.
there are no teachers in the primary school, and it's just a private school that we have.
It affects us very well. Oh. It affects us very, very well. We could not make anything. We are just village up and down. We just move up and down. We move around giving birth.
As we live in Mbarekul community, the creaking of the old bridge is a stark reminder of the struggles faced by its residents. Despite their resilience and resourcefulness, the